I met up with Tina about 5 miles south of Route 64 near Chama. We decided to flip up to Wyoming and hike the Great Basin section of the CDT now before it got too hot, while giving the snow in Colorado 2 more weeks to melt. After dropping her off just south of the Wind River Range, I headed to Lewis Lake to find camping and found a beauty. There were many great campsites throughout this whole area, and many were still not yet taken. Good morning. It's another day. I'm actually in Wyoming, if you can believe it. We actually went up to northern New Mexico and Chama, but there's a lot of snow pretty much as soon as you get in Colorado. So we headed up to Wyoming so we could do the Great Basin area. It's a much lower elevation area of Wyoming, really. And it gets really, really hot in the summertime. So we thought we would get out here and then Tina could hike about, I think, almost 200 miles, maybe 180 miles of the Great Basin area now. That way, in the 2 weeks or so, Colorado snow would melt, and we could skip this part when we get back because she'll have already done it. Most people get to this part in late June, maybe July, and it'd probably be like in the 100 degrees Fahrenheit here by then. This week it's supposed to be mid to high 80s even, so that's too hot for me even. But it's also, there are no trees there. It's completely barren, so it's a good idea to get it over with right away. I'm at a dispersed campsite in, I forget the name of the national forest. I'll put it down below. I think it's Shoshone, but there's a road here that goes to Lewis Lake. It's 10 miles to the lake. I'm not going to go to the lake. I thought about going through, but it's actually closed at the top. And I'm just a few miles in, but there's tons of sites everywhere. So it's easy to find spots. It's an easy dirt road, and all the roads are pretty easy as well. So lots of dispersed camping just south of Lander here. The Wind River Range is just to my northwest, and you can kind of see it from here. I'll show you some video, but yesterday I dropped Tina off and she hiked about 15 miles. She told me that she had a tick on her leg and a tick on her backpack. So she doesn't know it yet, but I'm actually going to go up into Lander, pick up some DEET spray, some kind of mixture, nothing too strong. We haven't treated any of her clothes yet because we didn't think ticks and mosquitoes would be a problem yet. So I'm gonna go pick up some spray so she could spray down her gaiter and shoes and whatnot so it doesn't crawl up, maybe even her backpack. And I'm gonna meet her 25 miles from where she is now. I think she might try to camp around there. There's a water cache that's maintained there. So that's the goal. She doesn't know I'm gonna head that way yet because I don't have any service. She messaged me via InReach. We both have InReaches where she was tonight, and I told her where I'm camping here as well. But yeah, so I finished up my coffee and got everything done, ready to go. So let's head up into Lander and let's go to a mountain sports store first. and it should have some kind of anti-tick spray. And then after that, we'll go into Safeway and just pick up a few things. I guess Safeway first because they're open first. But let's head out. Beautiful campsite though. I don't know. I'll probably camp near her today when I meet up with her. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just got out of the Wind River Outdoor Company outdoor store here in Lander. It's actually a super nice store. They actually had it's not super big like REI big, but it's bigger than the others. But they had everything you need, and they sold all kinds of things like guns and tons of fishing gear and maps of fishing things. And they had what I was looking for, which was 20% picaridin. I wanted to get something that's not DEET. Also, something spray, so Tina could spray it on her clothes, her shoes, and her legs for now. And until we can treat her things with permethrin, we kind of need a day or so, because once you soak clothes in permethrin, you have to let it dry completely before you can wear it. So might not be able to do it today, but this she could use for a while. And they even had these. These are Yeti replacement lids. I have this like knockoff thing that I bought for it because the original Yetis don't have a little closure, but it's cracked now. Here, I'll show it to you. It's one of these things that lifts. Not the best, but there's a huge crack in there, and it's getting pretty dirty, so I thought it was time to replace it. And yeah, they actually had just the lids, only $10 too. I mean, for a Yeti thing, you'd think it'd be more expensive too, but it has a little slide closure, so you can kind of close it up. But nice. And I also bought, I probably paid full price too much, but I bought one of these outdoor research hats. This is the first time I've actually seen one of these hats in extra large, and I tried it on, and it's loose enough for my head. The reason I've actually never worn these types of hats before is because even the largest of hats were always too tight on my head, and it just, I don't know, if you ever hike and it's hot, your head kind of swells, and it's really annoying when it's tight. In the Marine Corps, I had boonie cover and extra large, and I actually had to cut the seams on it and re-sew it to make it a little bigger, but I didn't want to do that. But this one is actually comfy, and it's real thin and light, and I think I'm going to try wearing it on my next hiking trip. Here, I'll try it on here. Mashed up here. Let's see, where's the back on this thing? It's nice and big. Kind of touches my ear. But yeah, I like the big rim hats just because then my ears don't get burned, as well as my neck. Because I wore a buff on the last time, and my neck was safe, but I don't like when my ears burn. But I think that'll work out. All right. I'm going to go hide out somewhere for a while. It's only about 10:30. I'm going to wait till about 1 o'clock to leave here. And then try to intersect with Tina, surprise her. But the thing is, gotta find some shade. There's not much shade here, and there won't be any shade where I'm going. I think I should probably check out some satellite pictures, check it out, check out the area. So we're on Buffalo Basin Road, and this is the basin that people have to walk through. I haven't seen a tree in miles. Just give you a clear look out front. Every once in a while, if you look, you can see pronghorn antelope running around. We'll see if we see one as we crest this hill, but take a look. It's a pretty crazy area. I mean, I haven't seen a tree in forever. It's just super wide open. We are high up, 7,200 feet, but it is just super wide open. If there's a big windstorm or anything, you just have no shelter at all. I know thunderstorms can come through here, and it'd be sketchy with the thunderstorm just because there's nowhere to go to hide. It's just wide open. You gotta try to just get lower maybe somewhere, but crazy area, just super wide open. There's nothing. Insane. By the way, we are in BLM area, so I will camp out down here, I think. It's funny, I think in Guthook someone mentioned that there's nowhere to poop out here. Go to the bathroom in anyway, but I think they're right. There's nowhere to hide. There aren't even any bushes. They're just really short. I believe they were sage bushes, but they're really short, maybe like a foot high. There's absolutely nowhere to hide, to do anything. Just super wide open. If this trail was any busier, it probably wouldn't be that much fun trying to hike this if you have to use the bathroom every now and then. Here's the pronghorn. They're all over. There are a lot of individual ones. I'm guessing males, young males. I got to where it intersects CDT, and I heard the water cache is over here in this little cordon off area. Kind of odd. There's a little kiosk, sign, map, and I guess the water's in there. Let's go just check out how much water is in there. Maybe we fill anything if we're our empty containers. Here we go. Hopefully nobody thought it was funny and put snakes in here. Oh, the Tootsie Rolls is correct. Oh wow, there's 5, roughly about 6 gallons. It's actually kind of an odd area. I thought it might be cordoned off so cattle can't get in, so maybe there's level areas for someone to camp without cow poop all over it. But there really aren't any level areas. Very odd. Super wide open. Where are the trees? Fortunately, it has one of these so you don't have to climb over it. Well, good morning. It's another day. I did meet up with Tina. She was actually planning to camp right where I thought she would because it was 25 miles even. So I got her bug spray, some extra picaridin lotion that we had. She didn't have any of that with her, so I'm glad I was able to give that to her. Drank a couple of sodas last night, met a couple of hikers, and they all got sodas. And we slept in the car again just because it was really windy initially, and oddly enough, there are lots of mosquitoes here. And today, she went on her way. So today I am driving up. I actually drove up to the highway again from Buffalo Basin Road. Yeah, I camped out right by the water cache. There was a nice cleared area, probably from all the other cars that go there to cache the water. We just stayed there and it was pretty nice. So today, the plan is I'm going to drive out to Green Mountain. I'm not going to see Tina tomorrow. There's like another road I could potentially if I wanted to. But I'm just going to head up to Green Mountain. Today is going to be much warmer than yesterday. And then Friday, today's Thursday, Friday is even going to be even warmer. It'll be 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 30 Celsius. So Green Mountain is probably one of the only places I know of between here and Rawlins where we're going to meet. That has trees. It goes over 9,000 feet. I believe the mountain's like 9,200 feet. It's not a super prominent mountain. There's a huge open meadow there according to the satellite pictures. And it looks like there's going to be tons of dispersed camping. So there's kind of a loop. So I'm going to head in from the north side. I'll loop around the west side and then try to camp near the top. And I'll stay there 2 nights just because it's going to be so warm, and that's going to be one of the coolest places you can go to stay cool. It's very sunny. I don't see any clouds today. So escape to higher elevations it is. I don't know what the roads are going to be like. I think they're going to be pretty easy. On Gaia, it's all solid white line. So there is a campground on the eastern side of the loop. And from the pictures I've seen, it's just like, monster RVs and campers are there. So it shouldn't be too bad. There is a road that goes south down the mountain through some switchbacks and like right along the side that kind of goes towards the CDT. I thought about driving it, but I don't think I will. I'm just going to spend 2 nights up there. I have to edit some videos anyway, so it's going to be good sun. Hopefully we find some good trees and shade and a great spot. And I should be there only within maybe an hour and a half. I'm not sure. Maybe 2 hours. It's always exciting, kind of just like, oh, it's a new area. I've never been there. What do we expect? But I think it'd be fun. And there's a lot of side trails off the main solid line road. So it should be fine. We should be fine. And this car can handle a lot of those. So we're at the highway. There was signal here, so I actually had to stop and reserve a motel for Saturday. Tina's going to take a zero there, sort of. Car drove by. But she's going to take a zero, but she's also we're going to slack pack one day. I'm going to pick her up a little north of Rawlins, and then we'll stay the night. And the next morning I'll drop her off there, and then she'll walk into town, and I'll see her later. So let's get going. There's a wasp near me. Let's close up the windows and get out of here before the wasp gets in. Woo! Lots of bugs here. There are a lot of bugs on the windshield, but up ahead is Green Mountain, and you can see all the trees up above. There are several large mountains and hills around here with some trees on top, but they're very short really compared to this guy. This guy's gigantic, and really you can't drive up there, but this one you can, so we should be nice and cool. Let's get the altitude and the temperature and see what happens here. We're currently at 6,300 feet, and it is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is probably about 21 degrees Celsius. Well, let's go. Huge bummer. The gate is closed until June 15. Why didn't they have any signs about it though? That's weird. So I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna go, this is the western loop. I'm gonna go the eastern loop and see if I could go further up, maybe into the campground area. Right now we're in private land, so we can't just like pull over and camp out, but that is a huge bummer. June 15. 12 days from now. Oh man. Oh, I might have to figure out where I'm gonna stay now. I've made it to a area called Cottonwood Campground. Online it said it was free, but as I pulled in it said fee area. What's interesting is the gate is fortunately closed right after here. But I'm just driving through the whole place to see what the campsites are like, as well as see which one I would like. Overall, it's not bad. They're actually picnic tables off to the side, places for pull-throughs. I just have to find a place that's level enough for me to sleep, of course. In fact, the one to the right here looks perfect. with the picnic table right next to it. I'll come back. The thing is, I haven't found any fee kiosks yet. I'm gonna drive to the end. Oh, there's a little thing up ahead. Let's see what it says. I might pay just to stay here regardless. We're at 7,700 feet. So I think this is gonna be the coolest spot I'll find for a while. That's so well protected by the trees, but let's check out how much this costs. Okay, it's $6 per camp per night. So, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do 2 nights here. It's really nice. It's right by a creek. It's actually a pretty good campsite. And I can't get any higher, so no dispersed camping, really. But I'll do it. I don't know what number I was going to stay at, so I'm going to grab an envelope and go back. Pretty wild place. There are several good campsites. This one doesn't have much shade. But across from here, you'll see just the parking area. This is Unit 10, and there's actually a little bridge with the picnic table and a fire ring way over there. There's several of these little bridges on this side with a little trail so you can camp here or park here and take all your stuff over there and camp out. It's quite nice, and if you're not sleeping in your car, it's great because you have all this water running between the other side, so you can't hear them as much. So you get a lot of privacy, really. Pretty nice campsite, $6 a night. There I am over there, very poorly parked, mostly in the sun. I was trying to get in the shade, but I didn't do a good job. But it's a pretty nice site over there. It's really level, very wide for multiple cars, so I can pick which side to park based on the shade. And there's a picnic table and fire pit there. I'm gonna check to see if I can have a fire tonight. And of course, the kiosk is just right down here a little bit. But it's beautiful over here. You got the running water to the side. Look at all these aspen trees. Another campsite, pretty tucked away. It's nice that the picnic table sites are pretty off the road, so you don't get blasted with dust. It's really nice. Good morning from Cottonwood Campground. It's a nice night. I think there's someone way down. I saw some movement, a person moving, but nobody else really has come by, so it's been super quiet. It's a good weekday. So this morning I made some coffee and I'm actually cooking naengmyeon, which is a cold Korean noodle dish. Usually you serve it lunchtime, maybe dinner, but I'm making it in breakfast because I left a jug of water outside last night and the water's nice and cold, and it's a cold noodle dish and you need a little bit to cool down the noodles after you cook it. So, but I thought I'd show you how I cook some things now. So often I use isobutane, which are those little camp like backpacking canisters. But when I'm cooking something that requires longer boil, I like to use propane, and it's pretty easy actually. I just use one of these adapters so you can put a camp stove on it. And this one camp stove just has a tube, and the base is very wide, so you can put a big pot. It is not good for small pots because it's just too wide. And I use this little aluminum table so I don't scorch the table. I don't think it doesn't really get hot, but I don't want to melt it or anything. But that's pretty much it. And I use this. Propane's probably the cheapest out of all the usual cooking fuels. There's propane, and then there's the butane, and the isobutane, which is the camp stoves. And propane is definitely the cheapest. Walmart does sell them the cheapest of anywhere, and that will last forever. I actually in the beginning bought one of those refillable ones that are a little bigger, and I found these last me forever, so no point. You spend way more on gas than you would on fuel. So, and boiling away, and we'll see how it works out. I don't think I'm gonna get it as cold as you normally should, because after it boils you drain this and you just run cold water through it in the sink, usually for several minutes, but I don't have that much water, so I'll do my best. This is my wake up hair, sticking up a little bit, but I cut this myself and it's actually not too bad. There were some bad parts in there, but I fixed them yesterday. At least I think I fixed them. It's one thing I found about cutting your own hair. You always find more and more mistakes after a while. But I have my chopsticks. These are my metal chopsticks I used to eat with back when I owned a home. And here's my pot. And of course I would not eat naengmyeon with a fork. I don't know if I've ever done that before. Just wouldn't work out right. This pot is gigantic though. But there it is. Let's see how it is. Good. The water is sufficiently cold, and I think I put enough noodles per packet of seasoning, so nothing fancy in there, like no kimchi, no pickled radish, no eggs, pickled cucumbers, nothing. But it is what it is. But still, good to have naengmyeon. It's already kind of warm, so I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll talk to you later. Google Maps is telling me to turn left in 350 feet. I can kind of make out the highway straight in front of me. It's straight due north on this road. Well, Google Maps wants me to turn at an acute angle, turn left here for some reason. I don't know what. That's one thing about Google Maps. It's great on roads, but not on forest roads at all. I mean, this one's better than some of the roads. Sometimes it tells me to go on roads that don't even exist anymore. Like, that actually exists. But that's the wrong way to get to the highway. And I'm so close to the highway. It just... Yeah, don't trust Google Maps on the highways. Look at Gaia. Google Maps is sometimes right with well, I meant like off forest roads. Google Maps is sometimes right with these backcountry roads, but a lot of times it will just drive you crazy. Like further back it had me turn right, but the road, all that goes is right into a private property area with the house. Like, why does it want me to turn right there? Oh, there's a little baby pronghorn. Why is it by itself? In Rawlins, I treated all her clothes with permethrin, then she continued south on the CDT. I also drove south along Sage Creek Road and met up with her a couple times before the trail finally branched off the road. At the southern end of Sage Creek Road is a place called Aspen Alley. Some recent Google reviews did make it sound like much, but it was way cooler than I thought it would be. It's definitely worth a see. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more. If you'd like to see how Tina's hike is going, she has a blog. Although it is in German, but Chrome can translate it pretty well. She also updates her Instagram frequently, so follow along for more updates. Until later, bye.